You got me running. Shake it, baby. Raise your hands up. Raise them up.
Afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. This is the Forex Trading Asia Daily Currency Call. So it's episode 361. We are now on the 24th of August 2021 as well. So if it is your first time here, a big welcome as well. And we do this currency call from Monday to Friday, and we focus on as follows. So yesterday, Monday, was the Aussie and Kiwi. Tuesday, today is the Euro pairs. Wednesday, the pound pairs. Thursday, we have yen and gold. And then Friday, we have the CAD and crypto, specifically Ethereum and Bitcoin with crypto. So this is the currency call where you will get market economic updates. You'll also get key support and resistance levels, trade ideas, as well as education into how to construct trade ideas as well. This started yesterday. If you didn't catch that call, please feel free to follow up on the YouTube channel as well. It was very informative. Now, this currency call is going to be very beneficial to both the short-term traders and also the long-term investors. And here we will go through what could move prices, what possible trade ideas there are, and setups, and we'll also highlight potential targets and risks as well. So just a disclaimer as well, guys, to take note of. This information shared during the session is not to be considered trade recommendations. It is solely the opinion and views of the speakers. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades. All right, so guys, just to start off with, I will go through the US dollar here. And may I say that, to be fully accountable, I did talk about the US dollar in the currency call yesterday, coming back down to 93.18 or thereabouts, and offering some potential buying opportunities. I was watching it, and when it closed here, I was like, let's see. And it did. It fell even lower, and we actually went below 93. We've got a little bit of a point of interest here. So we did see price bounce back after it dipped below 93, and we saw a very strong risk on sentiment as well in the markets. Now, what I do quickly want to touch upon is just the key economic news that came out last night relative to the US dollar. And I'll just go to the calendar, the economic calendar now, thanks to Forex Trading Asia. So honestly, it wasn't that bad in regards to the PMI information that came out. But what seems to be the situation was, and Daniel shared this, a Fed member discussed the fact that the tapering time parameters could be pushed back a little bit, just due to the fact that the Delta variant of COVID-19 is causing some unknown uncertainties in regards to how it is affecting the economy. So, what will be interesting is to see what happens in the Jackson Hole Symposium. I frankly have been very much a US dollar bull. And sorry about this, guys. It just keeps muting itself. It's very interesting. But anyway, so in regards to a trade idea, what I would say is that we've got a lot of data coming out for the US this week. And I would frankly say right now, an aggressive trade would be to buy right now. I would say leave it be and let the US equity markets show their hand a little bit more. We're pushing to all-time highs again. We saw that last night. So I'm just going to let Tuesday night play out and then, go from there. So for now, there's no direct trade idea on the US dollar, but frankly, I think it's about done with its pullback unless something extraordinary happens. So I would say I'm being a little conservative. I'm leaving the US dollar for now. That is the thesis on the US dollar. So next up, we have Jin, and please, guys, remember to rewatch this if you can't take all the information on board. But we're going through the Euro pair analysis, and Jin, and we've got everyone in actually. So Jin, take it away on the Euro pairs.
All right, good morning, everyone. So, as usual, which I just started yesterday. Yesterday, we looked at the support resistance lines. Today, before I jump into the euro pairs, let's start talking a little bit about trend, right? So, there are several approaches before you start entering a trade. You look at, I look at the news, I look at the trend, and then after that, I look at support and resistance lines, and then some price action or indicators before deciding whether to jump into a trade or not. So yesterday we spoke about support resistance. Today I'll touch on a bit, I'll give you a little bit of information about trend so that it could actually help with your trades. So with a common approach about trend here, sharing the euro dollar on the H4 time frame, most traders approach trend as a way to identify trades, right? Looking at what to do on a trade based on a trend. We always want to be a bit more trend following because we know that if you're following a trend, you're more likely to make money, or the trade is more likely to play out better if you're following a trend, almost at a 70% of a success rate. But if I zoom out here, looking at the euro dollar H4 time frame, one other way to use trend is to identify what to do or what not to do as well. So you can see here the euro dollar on the H4 time frame since June, it has been on that big downward move. We saw that big drop in June and then sitting across pretty much at the end of June all the way to July before continuing that downward move in August. So how I approach trend looking at it is I know that it's been moving down and it's been moving across. It's been moving down, it's been moving across. Hence, I would approach this as I'm looking for trades to sell. I'm not looking to buy because that would be significantly against the overall movements since June that has been moving down. So quite simply, instead of going into all that intricacies of how to identify trend, go for the clear and obvious. Go for the clear and obvious. You can see here that it's been straight moving downwards, it's been moving across. There has been some little bit of an upward move in different intervals, but those are very short-term moves. So based on this view, I'm looking at that big downward move and consolidation before resumption of further downward pressures. If you're looking at more details, or if you're looking into finding out about how to really identify trend into further details, then you can check out the YouTube videos that we have posted up on the channel, on the group, on the channel, right? So looking at the euro dollar here, before we look at the euro dollar, let's look at some news. What could push the euro dollar further lower in this case? Here, looking at forextradingasia.com. If you want further information and all the other currency analysis here, it's all there on the main page. But we go on to the economic calendar and we can check out the news. We've already done Monday. Today is Tuesday. So we do have some German GDP numbers to be released, expected to stay at 1.5% like the previous quarter. So not a big change there. We have an ECB member speaking at 8:30 tonight. Probably not going to move prices too much. But the main things you're going to pay attention to is where is it? On Thursday, we do have the ECB publishing some accounts of monetary policy meeting. So that one you pay a bit of attention to. I think that we might actually see not a big price mover here, but in conjunction with the GDP from the US at 8:30 on Thursday evening, expected to go from a 6.5 to a 6.7% quarter on quarter. So you can actually see possibly improving GDP for the US. And if we see GDP improve, we could see that strengthening in the US dollar. We do have the Jackson Hole Symposium continuing on Thursday. And then on Friday, you can see again not a lot of Euro news happening, more US focus. So with all that, focus on US dollar, not a lot of Euro dollar news to be released. What this means on the Euro dollar H4 chart, I could anticipate with that trend idea, looking for selling opportunities. What I'm looking to see is for it to reject this 1.1766 level, 1.1766 resistance level. I'm looking for a rejection, possibly back down towards that 1.1629 support level. I don't think it will go there in a hurry, but I'm looking for that rejection before looking to sell it down. So what you could be looking for is at about 1.1746, you would have a 30 pips stop loss. For a very good 100 pip take profit level, you're looking at a 1:3 or above 1:3 risk reward ratio towards the downside for the euro dollar on a H4 time frame. With that said, if we expect the euro dollar to drop further, then this could actually mean that the euro pound could move lower off this 8557 level. But the way the euro pound is going to move is not just dependent on the euro dollar, it's also going to depend on how the pound dollar is going to move. And I'll tell you more about the pound dollar tomorrow on Wednesdays when we look at the pound dollar and do a recap on the euro pound.
All right, thank you so much, Jin, as well. So to continue, guys, we've got Gim Hong here as well, and he's just going to put together a trade idea. And this is especially relevant for the traders out there who can't be at the charts all the time and have a day job as well, who are looking for a bit of a set and forget style setup. So over to you, Gim Hong, for your trade idea.
All right, thank you, Scott. Okay, let me just dive straight into the trade idea. Forex Trading Asia. Okay, if you guys are not a member yet, head over to forextradingasia.com. Okay, under login, there's a register button. Register after the call and start rating articles. Okay, you get points which can be used to redeem Amazon vouchers. Okay, done with that. Let's go on straight to the trade idea. Okay, so this trade idea was fired out, I think, on 2nd of August. I think that was like a couple of weeks ago. Okay, Euro Aussie, RBA to reconsider QE tapering. So the first motivation behind this trade idea was actually not the RBA, was actually the Eurozone economic data releases. Okay, so this trade idea was fired out on a Monday, and the Friday prior to that Monday, okay, the Eurozone CPI data, okay, release was actually quite good. You know, it's 2.2%. Now, if you remember that I've been mentioning from I think last month onwards, okay, ever since the ECB has made a revision, a change to their inflation policy, inflation has become more and more, I would say, of a crucial indicator, economic indicator to pay attention to. Okay, so the ECB, okay, is currently aiming at a 2% inflation target, right? So we see that, you know, from this chart over here, okay, the previous annual inflation release was 1.9%, and then it actually went up to 2.2%, which actually slightly exceeded the ECB's target, okay, which is actually very good. You know, from now on, if inflation were to, the Eurozone inflation were to be sustained at this level, around this level, then, you know, it will definitely be good for Euro, all right? So that's the first thing. Now, we can also see that the preliminary GDP, okay, quarter on quarter, rose by 2%. On an annual basis, it's 13.7%, okay, which is a strong growth, especially, okay, when you look at the previous data release, which was negative, okay, which may actually indicate a technical recession if you know, an economy has been in a negative economic growth for 2 consecutive quarters. Okay, now unemployment rate, you see a 0.3% decline, which is, you know, it just adds on to the, you know, the good of this whole economic data releases. Okay, so this is the immediate I would say motivating factor, okay, behind the strengthening of Euro. Okay, now the second point is more of a speculation. Okay, So at that time, the RBA was supposed to announce their monetary policy decision the next day, okay, the day after I issue out this trade idea, okay. So in the market, it was actually they were actually speculating that, including myself, okay, we were actually speculating that the RBA may be holding back on the QE tapering, okay, that they actually plan to carry it out in September, okay. Remember that I think back in the July's meeting, okay, July's monetary policy meeting, the RBA actually said that when the second round of QE ends in early September, okay, they will extend QE by 2 months at a decreased rate of 4 billion Australian dollars per week, as opposed to the previous 5 billion Australian dollar per week. Okay, so it was initially a good thing, right? I mean, we are actually all waiting for central banks to cut back on QE on QE, right? So it was good back in July. However, you know, there was this whole Delta variant hitting Australia, and you know, the market was actually expecting the central bank to, you know what, let's just hold back on QE tapering for another month or so and decide in the future to see if the tapering, if the economy actually warrants a tapering, right? So there was actually a small speculation that the central bank may hold back on its plan on QE tapering. Okay, that was announced in the previous meeting. So if they were actually to hold back on their QE tapering, then we'll see a strengthening in euro, we'll see a weakening in the Australian dollar, right? That will lead to further strengthening of the euro Aussie. Okay, now unfortunately, okay, during the meeting, the RBA decides to actually proceed with their plan of QE tapering in September, okay, stating that the economy is very robust. With this recent Delta variant, is unlikely going to cause too much of an impact on the economic recovery. Okay, in fact, their economic projections have been very strong. Okay, so with that, let me just jump over to the chart and see what actually happened. So the trade idea was fired out on 2nd of August, right? This orange line over here, this yellow line over here, okay? Now you see that, there's a decline in Euro Aussie, right? Because, to the market's expectation, the RBA held, decides to proceed on with their QE tapering plan, okay? So it actually caused a strengthening in the Australian dollar, right? So unfortunately, Euro Aussie actually went down, for probably like two weeks or so, before making a rebound, right? So the trade idea was initially, I wanted to actually cancel it, to be honest, because it's a bit, the fundamental direction is a bit off ever since the RBA decides to continue with tapering, right? But okay, I held on to it, anyway, because there's a key level over here, there's a key handle, 1.62, okay? So it's, we need a strong catalyst in order for this level to be broken, right? So yeah, 2 weeks after, we start seeing Euro Aussie climbing up. I think this was actually because of, I think, what was it? I think it was something to do with the Delta variant as well. Yeah, so it actually led to a strengthening in euro against the Australian dollar. Now, like I said, the 1.62 handle is actually a strong level. Why is that the case? If you can see, the last time Euro Aussie was trading, I know this is a bit small, but I'm just going to show you the line and you can see the dates, okay? So the last time Euro Aussie was trading above this level was around 2020 December 9th, okay, which is last year. So in fact, prior to the RBA's decision, Euro Aussie was actually trading at I would say a yearly high, okay, a high for 2021. So we are actually waiting for it to break. Now, when it actually broke above the 1.62, it triggers my entry level, all right? It triggers and then it actually went all the way up. If you realize that, I think last week there was a strong market rally, okay? So it eventually hit the TP of 150 pips. So I actually set my stop loss. Okay, now it's very important to actually set a stop loss behind a level that that it's hard to be broken. Okay, so what is hard to be broken over here is the 1.62 handle. Now, a strong break beyond above this level, okay, I would say feeling safe to actually set my stop loss below it. Okay, so my stop loss was actually 100 pips, and my TP was actually 150 pips. As you can see, it actually hits TP, I think, last week. I think it was Thursday or Wednesday or something, right? It hits TP, and then right now it's actually coming back down. I'm just glad that it actually hit TP, and that's it, right? But I mean, I think, was this Friday, 20th, 22nd? Yeah, okay, it hits on Friday. So yeah, like I always mention, holding trades over the weekend may be a bit risky, okay, because you never know what's going to happen, what they're going to announce in terms of politics, in terms of economics, and things like that. Especially this weekend when there's the Jackson Hole Symposium, right? So to be honest, at this point, last Friday, I may actually very well close. I was actually considering to close my trade for prior to the TP level, because it's actually very close. If you were to look at the H1, okay, you see that last Friday was here, last Thursday. Yeah, it was last Thursday that I was actually planning to close, because it actually hit close to the TP level, but actually come back down and things like that, hovering across. But luckily, in mid of Friday, it actually hits TP. Otherwise, I'll be planning to close the trade, even it doesn't hit TP. It's not always that important that you must let your trade run to hit your TP level, because I mean, if, for example, your trade is perhaps 20 to 30 pips away from your TP level, you might want to close it if you have a valid reason, such as a monetary policy meeting, announcements, major political events and things like that, elections, etc., right? Or over the weekend kind of uncertainty. So in this case, it was fortunate that the trade hits TP, but if it doesn't hit TP and if it hovers across over on Friday, okay, my suggestion would be just close it for, like, I don't know, at that point of time, it's probably like 100 or 110, 120 pips TP, 120 pips profit. So, it's recommended that you will close it, right? Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it for my trade idea. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, with that, I will just hand it back to Scott.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Kim Hong, as well. And in regards to last night, so if you are new here, we do a call in the evenings as well, Singapore time, and at 8 o'clock last night, there was a live trade call for providing setups and, I guess, a plan for the week ahead. And what we endeavor to do is provide a professional trading environment. And really what that does require with individuals like ourselves in this time zone, we need obviously be up a little bit later, so and doing work. So Daniel will run us through what happened in that call, what's looking good, and a little bit of information about the LCMS Traders Club as well, for access to our private forum as well. So Daniel, feel free to take over and discuss what happened last night.
Hey, yeah, Scott, thank you very much. Yeah, exactly. We, in the LCMS Traders Club yesterday, like we mentioned, yesterday we had at 8 p.m. We had gone through what happened last week and what going to happen this week. We actually reviewed the current market conditions and try to identify, trades and literally try to make profits together. Now, what happened yesterday? We were looking at the market. Let me share my chart here. We looked at the markets last week, right? For what happened last week, and we knew that last week really quite hawkish in terms of the US after the FOMC meeting minutes, and we were overall the hawkish bearish coming in, and we think that right now could be some profit taking coming in for all the safe haven currencies, and very nicely is hit some of the trading pairs were hitting to support and resistance level. So we were trying to we were looking at it, and based on what we know what happening coming in, US GDP going to be really good. Jin has just mentioned just now. So we look at the overall the market conditions environment, and we think that right now some profit taking since on Monday and Tuesday will probably happen. And with hit, for example, one of the idea was that pound USD right now most probably profit taking will happen Monday, Tuesdays, coming in, hitting the resistance here. Maybe let me zoom out a little just to zoom in, hit the resistance level at 1.37068, and then waiting for it to break below 1.3670 for a possible quick trading down to 1.3599, because it is actually a reaction zone here a level. So it's really very nice trading. Now part one has been done, hitting the resistance zone. If it does comes back down, looking for moving forward for a very still hawkish fundamental from the US, strong US dollar, we're probably going down. Another trade idea I would like to do was we actually had a lot of discussions within the club members, and one of them was looking at Euro USD, and very happy that it's very similar to what Jean has mentioned. We were looking at this trend line coming down. We were looking at the trend down, and we actually had intermediate support resistance level at 1.1762. While we think that as the trends down coming in at this point, it most likely will shift upwards, similar to what I mentioned, that profit taking coming in for safer currencies like US dollar, and moving forward with the strong US GDP data coming in, and probably retailers are trying to park the dollars with the safe haven currencies. It will probably shift downwards for a sell trade all the way towards the next support zone of 1.1627. So it's all these are trade ideas. I won't go into the details. If you are, if you are coming into, you want to know the details, you should come and join in the LCMS Traders Club. To get all these trade ideas coming in and what to look for the market, help to prepare also in advance, for all the club members on what to look out for, what to trade, how to react to the market, and make profits together. You could just come in and join us at LCMS Traders Club. Let me do a share here. Okay. Also, not this one. This is sorry, I couldn't open up. We're looking at LCMS Traders. That was Jean's web page, so our YouTube page. So join the tradersclub.lcms.com.sg. Go all the way down, and actually, this club is not only just for coaching sessions on Monday, group coaching sessions, and Wednesday live trading sessions here. We also have a lot of Forex trading signals, and we also explain to you why we take the analysis for the Forex signals, so that not only do you earn from the signals or trade ideas, you also learn why we take the trade and literally make profits together. And we have also lots of trade ideas that Kim Hong has already mentioned in the currency watch list. We were looking at daily analysis and many more here in the Traders Club. What we could do is actually really, this club membership is access to worth thousands, but right now it's only at $49 a month. Okay, just click it. This is without a doubt the very least you must do. Ensure you're best in trading. In fact, I have a member who just messaged it. They were very happy that every morning we're doing the currency call. We have the Traders Club, a lot of trade ideas. He's actually literally making profits already. So I'm very happy for him. So this price can change anytime. It's really beneficial to you as a trader. If you are not already in there, click this trend again at Traders Traders Club, tradersclub.lcms.com.sg. Fill it up, and I'll see you in the club as soon as possible. See you.
All right, Daniel, thanks so much. And guys, that is the conclusion of the call. Make sure you watch tomorrow for some insights into the pound, as well as some educational material that is also included before the trade ideas are presented as well. So thanks for joining us as well. I noticed some new faces. Make sure you check out the website as well, guys. Thanks for joining us, and hope to catch everyone tomorrow. Bye, guys. Have a good day.